Good morning all of you. In today's video lecture we will study about the Prime Minister. Okay, so this is one of the part in a central government. So we will discuss various types or various things which are being mentioned as far as this concept of Prime Minister is being concerned. So the contents which we are going to go through are nothing but Prime Minister, appointment of Prime Minister, powers and functions of the Prime Minister, and relationship of the Prime Minister with the President. Coming to our first point, we will discuss about Prime Minister. So who is a Prime Minister? Okay, so see, Prime Minister is the senior most member of cabinet in the executive of government in a parliamentary system. The Prime Minister selects and can dismiss the members of cabinet and allocates post to members within the government and is the presiding member or the chairperson of the cabinet. Okay, so Prime Minister is basically acting as a head of the country. So in the scheme of parliamentary system of government which is being provided by the constitution, the president is the nominal executive authority and Prime Minister is the real executive authority. See, there are two authorities. One of the authority is the president and second one is Prime Minister, where the president is the nominal executive and Prime Minister is the real executive. Okay, so in other words, president is the head of state while Prime Minister is the head of government. So this difference should be known to you. Okay, so the difference who is called as nominal executive and who is called as a real executive. Coming to the next point, appointment of the Prime Minister. So here you can see how the Prime Minister will be appointed. Okay, so there are different terms and conditions which are to be followed as far as the appointment of Prime Ministers are concerned. So there is a council of ministers. Okay, so how the Prime Minister is appointed? There is a council of ministers which is headed by the Prime Minister to aid and advise the President in exercise of his functions. So the Prime Minister is appointed by the President. So President is having the authority to appoint the Prime Minister. Okay, who also appoints other ministers on the advice of Prime Ministers. Means, see how the chain is. President is having more weightage because President can appoint the Prime Minister and Prime Minister in consultation with President can appoint the remaining ministers. Okay, so the council is collectively responsible to Lok Sabha. So appointment of the Prime Minister basically in the constitution does not contain any specific procedure for the selection and appointment of the Prime Minister. So specified in article number 75, it is said that the Prime Minister shall be appointed by the President. However, this does not imply that the President is free to appoint anyone as the minister, Prime Minister. Okay, it is not like that President will feel whoever and he can appoint him or her as a Prime Minister. No, he has to follow some protocols. So it is a great task to do. So in accordance with the conventions of the parliamentary system of government, the President has to appoint the leader of the majority party in the Lok Sabha as the Prime Minister. But when no party has a clear majority in the Lok Sabha, then the President may exercise his personal discretion in the selection and appointment of the Prime Minister. So in such a situation, the president usually appoints the leader of the largest party or coalition in the Lok Sabha as the prime minister and asks him to seek a vote of confidence in the house within a month. So this discretion was exercised by the president for the first time in the year 1979 when Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy, Charan Singh as the prime minister after the fall of Janata Party government, which was headed by Morarji Desai. So these are just the simple things which are being explained, which are important as far as the appointment of prime ministers are concerned. There is also one more situation when the president may have to exercise his individual judgment in the selection and appointment of prime minister. That is when the prime minister is in office, dies suddenly and there is no obvious successor. This is what happened when Indira Gandhi was assassinated in the year 1984. So see, there may be a situation which may arise like when the prime minister dies. At that time the president has to take some actions. So this was the example which occurred when during the year 1984. So then the president Jail Singh appointed Rajiv Gandhi as the prime minister by ignoring the precedent of appointing a caretaker prime minister. So later on, the Congress Parliamentary Party unanimously elected him as its leader. So what happens is, if this case, like if the person is being appointed, after that the elections will be considered, and in that elections the leader should get the maximum votes. But if this doesn't happen, unwillingly also the people have to give the votes so that that person can remain on that post. However, if on the death of an incumbent prime minister, the ruling party elects a new leader, the president has a choice but to appoint him as a prime minister. But in the year 1997, the Supreme Court, which held that a person who is not a member of either house of a parliament, which can be appointed as a prime minister for 6 months, within which he should become a member of either house of parliament. Otherwise, he ceases to be the prime minister. Constitutionally, the prime minister may be a member of any of the two houses of parliament. So we know there are two houses of parliament, one is the Lok Sabha and one is the Rajya Sabha. So for example, 3 prime ministers, Indira Gandhi in the year 1966, Deve Gowda in the year 1996 and Manmohan Singh in the year 2004 were the members of Rajya Sabha. So in Britain, on the other hand, the prime minister should definitely be a member of lower houses. So see, country to country, the rules and the regulations are going to change. So there are lots of things which are going to vary. Coming to the next point, powers and functions of the prime minister. So this is important thing, like we should know what are the powers and the functions of the prime minister. So what are the important powers as far as the knowledge is concerned would be the powers of prime minister. So prime minister has to coordinate the work of different departments. See, it's not a joke to be a prime minister, because there are lots of things which are to be managed. We have to communicate with the number of departments, number of people, number of ministers and number of states. So this work is really endless work. So the prime minister has to coordinate the work with different departments. Then the decision of prime minister are final in case of disagreements, if there is a disagreement which is arising between the departments. So in this case, the prime minister's decision is the final decision. Prime minister has to exercise the general supervision of different ministers. All the ministers work under his leadership. All the ministers have to work under the leadership of prime minister. Prime Minister can distribute and redistribute the work of ministers. See, it is not like that once the work is given and then everything will be over. No, Prime Minister has an ability, he is having the authority, not ability, to assign the work or redistribute the work depending on the requirement and the situations. Okay, so this point should be noted. So the powers and the functions of Prime Minister can be studied depending on the following heads which are being given below. Okay, so the power and functions are listed below. So these functions will be discussed in consultation with different forms, like here it will be in relation to the Council of Ministers. So the Prime Minister can enjoy the following powers: heads of the Union Council of Ministers. So he recommends the person who can be appointed as a minister by the President, and the President can appoint only those persons as ministers who are recommended by the Prime Minister. Okay, so this thing I already told you. So he allocates and reshuffles various portfolios among the ministers. He can ask a minister to reassign or advise the President to dismiss him in case of difference of opinion. He presides over the meeting of the Council of Ministers and influences its decision. He guides, directs, controls and coordinates the activities of all the ministers, okay, in the sessions. He can bring about the collapse of Council of Ministers by resigning from office. Since the Prime Minister stands at the head of Council of Ministers, the other ministers cannot function when the Prime Minister resigns or dies. So in other words, resignation or death of an incumbent Prime Minister automatically dissolves the Council of Ministers and thereby generates a vacuum. So if this is a case which arises, like if there is a sudden death or sudden resignation of a Prime Minister, at that time the Council of Ministers is being dissolved and it becomes vacuum, empty. Okay, so the resignation or death of any other minister, on the other hand, merely creates a vacancy which the Prime Minister may or may not like to fill. But this is a different scenario. If Prime Minister dies or resigns, unfortunately, at that time it creates a vacuum. But in case if any minister dies or resigns, unfortunately, at that time Prime Minister may or may not fill the post. It depends on the Prime Minister. Now, as we discuss the relation of a Prime Minister with the Council of Ministers, we do have the relations of the Prime Minister along with the President. So, here the Prime Minister can enjoy the following things with the Presidents. He is the principal channel of communication between the President and the Council of Ministers. So, it is the duty of Prime Minister. So, following you can see A, B, C are the duties of the Prime Minister. Okay, so to communicate the President all the decisions of Council of Ministers relating to the administration of the affairs of the Union and proposal for legislation. Second is to furnish such information relating to the administration of the affairs of the Union and the proposals of legislation of the President may call for. Okay, and the third one is that if the President so requires to submit for the considerations of the Council of Ministers and any matter on which a decision has been taken by a minister but which has not been considered by the Council. So he advises the President with regard to appointment of important officials like Attorney General of India, Comptroller of Auditors General of India, Chairman and members of UPSC, Election Commissioners, Chairman members of Finance Commissions and so on. So these are just the provisions which are being made. So these were the relations of Prime Minister with the President. How will be the role of Prime Minister with the Parliament? So he have to enjoy the following things. In this capacity, they are three factors. So the first factor is he advised the president with regard to summoning and proroguing of the sessions of the parliament. He can recommend dissolution of the Lok Sabha to the president at any time, and he announces the government policies on the floor of houses. Along with this, there are different powers and functions. Okay, so see, as there is no social process for the election of prime minister, which is clearly mentioned in the Constitution of India, we do follow the Constitution of India. So specifically, which is mentioned in article number 75, it only says that the country should have a prime minister whose appointment should be made by the president, and president in consultation with the prime minister can form the council of ministers. Okay, so it's not like any rule is there or no, it is only mentioned in the Constitution of India's article. Okay, so these are some of the powers and functions. So in addition to above mentioned three major roles, the prime minister has various roles. He is the chairman of Planning Commission, National Development Council, National Integration Council, Interstate Council, and National Water Resources Council. So see, the prime minister has to be the chairman for these many committees. So he plays a significant role in shaping the foreign policies of the country. He do have to participate in shaping the foreign policies. Okay, he is the chief spokesman of the union government. He is the crisis manager in chief of political level during the emergencies. As a leader of a nation, he meets various sections of the people in different states and receives the memoranda for them regarding their problems and so on. So prime minister has to look after every state. So he have to be in touch with the chief ministers of different states. Okay, so he is the leader of party in power. He is a political head of the services. These are number of powers along with the one which we discussed. Okay, then relationship with the president. So these are given over here. You can see these are the things which the prime minister has to follow as far as the relationship with the presidents are concerned. As specifically mentioned in article number 74, it says that there should be a council of ministers with the prime ministers at the head to aid and advise the president, who shall in the exercise of his function act in accordance with such advice. However, the president may require the council of ministers to reconsider such advice, and the president shall act in accordance with the advice tendered after such reconsiderations. Whereas article number 75 says that there are two features in article number 75. The first one is the prime minister shall be appointed by the president, and the other ministers shall be appointed by the president on the advice of prime minister. And second feature is that the minister shall hold office during the pleasure of president, and council of ministers shall be collectively responsible to the house of people. Article number 78 says the third feature, that following will be the duties of prime minister. See, even he is a prime minister, he has to follow some duties. What are the duties? To communicate with the president depending on the various decisions, to furnish the information related to administration. Okay, so if the president requires to submit the consideration of council of minister, he have to take the appropriate decision on the same lines. Okay, so this was all about